You searched for how to send Zoom registrations to HubSpot using Zapier. This is the exact walkthrough. Open your browser, go to zapier.com and sign in. As soon as the dashboard loads, hit Create in the top left, then pick Zaps. The Zap editor opens with an empty trigger step. Right here is where most people rush and forget to enable registration on the Zoom side first, so pause and make sure your webinar or meeting actually has registration turned on, otherwise Zapier gets nothing to pull. Click the trigger step, search for Zoom, and select it. For the trigger event, choose New Meeting Registrant or New Webinar Registrant depending on your event. I use the webinar one for everything because it maps the same fields. Click Continue, then connect your Zoom account if you haven't already. Once connected, Zapier loads a list of your meetings and webinars. Pick the right one from the dropdown. If you have a lot, start typing the title. This is the exact event Zapier monitors, so double check you didn't grab the wrong recurring session. Click Continue. Now you're on the test page. Click Test Trigger. If it comes back with no registrants found, that is normal. You need at least one registration before you can test. Open Zoom in another tab, register a test attendee with real-looking data, come back, and click Test Trigger again. When it pulls the sample, you'll see fields like first name, last name, email, phone, company, job title, country, and registration time. Scroll through and confirm the data looks complete. I always check that the email field actually contains an address. Sometimes Zoom captures it in a weird nested field, and the mapping gets messy later. Click the plus button below the trigger, search for HubSpot, and choose it. For the action event, select Create or Update Contact. I never use Create Contact alone because it creates duplicates every single time someone registers twice. Create or Update Contact uses the email as the unique identifier and merges the rest, which keeps your CRM clean. Hit Continue. Connect your HubSpot account and authorize Zapier, then pick the account from the dropdown. Click Continue. Now you're on the field mapping screen. This is where the real work happens. Map each Zoom field to its matching HubSpot property. Email address to email, first name to first name, last name to last name, phone number to phone number, company to company, job title to job title, country to country. If Zoom passed a webinar name or meeting topic, map that to a custom property or drop it into a notes field so you know which event they came from. I also map registration time to a custom date property called Zoom Registration Date because standard HubSpot doesn't capture that automatically. The email mapping is non-negotiable. HubSpot uses it as the unique contact identifier, and if it's missing or wrong, the Zap fails silently and you lose leads. Scroll down and you'll see optional properties like lifecycle stage, lead status, contact owner, marketing contact status, and lead source. I set lead source to Zoom webinar right here, so every contact gets tagged automatically. If you skip this, later segmentation becomes guesswork. You can also fill in a static value for industry or add a note that says registered via Zapier automation. It helps with auditing. Configure what makes sense for your team, but don't overmap fields you'll never use. That just slows down the Zap. Hit Test Step. Zapier sends the sample registrant to HubSpot. Wait for the success message, then open HubSpot in another tab. Go to Contacts and search for the test email you used. Verify every mapped field landed correctly, especially custom properties. If something is blank, go back and adjust the mapping. This is the moment where you catch the wrong field type or a missing pick list value, and it saves you from a broken automation that runs silently. If you only want certain registrations to enter HubSpot, add a filter. Click the plus between trigger and action, search for filter by Zapier, and set a condition like only continue if company is not empty, or only continue if country exactly matches United States. You can string multiple rules. I often filter out registrations without a company name because those are usually personal email accounts that clutter the CRM. Test the filter with the sample data to make sure it behaves. Before publishing, give the Zap a descriptive name, something like Zoom Webinar, then HubSpot, Create or Update Contact, so you can find it in a year. Review each step, then click Publish. The Zap goes live instantly. Now do a final end-to-end test. Register another attendee for your Zoom event, wait a minute for Zapier to trigger, then check HubSpot for the new contact. If it appears with the right data, you're done. Two things will save you later. 1. Open Zap history from the left sidebar and check the Zaps runs after your first real registration. That's where you catch rate limits, mapping errors, or authentication issues. 2. You can extend this workflow by adding another action after HubSpot. Send a welcome email via Gmail, create a task and click up, or post a Slack notification for the sales team. Just click the plus below the HubSpot step and build from there. If this walkthrough helped, give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment saying this was helpful. Comments are what push these videos to other people searching for the exact same thing.